I'm Batman.
The Cape Crusader leads the way to the biggest weekend ticket caper in movie history. Entertainment Tonight is your seat on the aisle for Monday, the 26th of June, 1989.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Mary Hart.
And I'm John Tesh. Congratulations, America. You just made movie history. The biggest box office weekend ever. Entertainment Tonight estimates the top motion pictures took in just under $100 million, $98.6 million to be exact, over the last 3 days. Batman zapped the nation over the weekend, selling more tickets in a single day than any film in history, and scoring a record-shattering $43.6 million for the weekend. Now, this tops both the weekend records set only a week ago by Ghostbusters 2 and the Memorial Day weekend mark held by Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Last summer's box office champ Roger Rabbit returned in the cartoon short Tummy Trouble, coupled with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, for the biggest opening weekend in Disney's history. Batman dwarfs all blockbuster movie openings of the past, including E.T. in 1982, Return of the Jedi in 1983, the original Ghostbusters in '84, and Beverly Hills Cop 2 in '87. And so far this summer, weekend ticket sales are up nearly 33% over sales of last summer. So Batman was the box office biggie, #1 by a wide margin. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was a surprise, #2. It had the biggest opening in Disney history. Ghostbusters 2 was 3rd. Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, 4th. And Dead Poets Society rounded out the top 5.
The countdown has begun for the premiere of the next blockbuster summer movie. It stars Bond, James Bond, and, of course, the latest lovely leading ladies vying for his attention. License to Kill is the latest in a series of Bond action thriller adventure films, and Talisa Soto and Carrie Lowell will join the bevy of Bond beauties on the big screen parade. The Bond Girls, our inside story for today. When Ursula Andress rose out of the sea in Dr. No in 1962, she no doubt had no idea that she would be starting a sorority comprised of the most beautiful women in the world. She was the first of the Bond Girls, that long-legged landscape which graces the most successful ongoing franchise in motion picture history.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming.
In the freewheeling, free-love 60s, the Bond girls were, like the gadgets in all the Bond films, well-equipped toys to be played with, then discarded.
Well, that's quite a nice little nothing you're almost wearing. I approve.
Even into the early 70s, Bond girls like Jill St. John recall the roles required little acting, even littler wardrobe.
I always thought that I was going to die of body makeup because I was in a bikini for 5.5 months.
Must be a first time for everyone.
In 1973, Jane Seymour got her big break as a Bond girl. She saw her role as a shift from the Bond girl of the 60s.
In all the other films, they were looking for one thing, gorgeous, sexy, big bosoms, wonderful body, and, the sort of ultimate woman. In me, they were obviously not looking for that. They were looking for a virgin. I was the last one they could find.
By the late 70s, Women's Lib had almost caught up with James Bond's world. Lois Chiles was cast as a fully clothed rocket scientist, Bond's virtual equal.
They called it James Bond's concession to Women's Lib. I mean, it was hardly, a feminist move, but it was, I suppose, in the history of the Bond films, it was the first woman, and I think, who was as capable as Bond, and I think probably they've stayed with that to some extent.
Still, there was the matter of what to name this new breed of Bond girl.
Holly Goodhead.
The hardest thing was trying to explain to my parents how a rocket scientist had a name like Holly Goodhead. That was really...
The succession of Bond beauties moved into the 80s, as did their suggestive names.
So you are the mysterious octopus.
But the newfound power and prowess of the Bond women, like Maude Adams, proved legitimately hazardous to Mr. Bond.
There is a love scene. Actually, we're having a fight. It does end up where we fall into bed, but during the middle of this fight, I apparently injured him quite severely in parts that James Bond should never be hurt in.
Kim Basinger, for her admission to the sorority of Bond girls in Never Say Never Again, researched the roles of the previous Bond girls.
I went and got a book, and it was a filmology of the Bond films. And I opened it up, and I'd see these pictures of women, these little thing, and I go, we have got a grand problem here, pals, you know.
In the most recent Bond film, Timothy Dalton as Bond became a virtual one-woman man with Miriam Dabo. But Bond's foray into faithfulness was short-lived because in the upcoming License to Kill, the promiscuous Bond is back with 2 new sorority members, Talisa Soto and Carrie Lowell, both distinctly modern women.
I get to update the image. I get to be the one that says this is how we are today, and look at us and listen to us, and that's very exciting.
So the sorority lives on to fuel the fantasies of loyal Bond fans and to rankle the feminists with each succeeding film. But as sure as his name on screen is
Bond, James Bond.
Adorning every adventure of 007, there are bound to be Bond girls.
Would you go see a Bond film that didn't have pretty ladies in it?
License to Kill opens across the country on July 14th. On our Inside Story tomorrow, there's something wild and wacky going on television. It's called Public Access TV, and anyone can be on.
It's sort of like the vaudeville of yesteryears. And if you've got something to offer, then something just might happen.
The wacky world of cable television, our Inside Story tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight.
Coming up next, a fan gets his own set of Batwheels and an old Batman movie finds a new audience. It's all part of the Batmania that's sweeping the land. And later, the secrets of the stars' lives as revealed by a Hollywood gossip columnist nearly 50 years ago.
Does she really? But the color is so natural looking.
That's why I use Miss Clairol.
When hairdressers want to make women beautiful, they reach for the colors of Miss Clairol more often than any other.
Could you make me a blonde like that?
Superb color, time after time. Maybe that's why so many hairdressers trust the colors of Miss Clairol.
Mommy, it's beautiful.
So for beautiful hair, gorgeous color, shouldn't you trust Miss Clairol?
If you want to have some real fun on the beach this summer, don't forget that great taste of Diet 7-Up. Lighten up. Diet 7-Up with NutraSweet.
Fluffy, jerky treat, jerky treat, jerky treat.
It's the real meat in jerky treat strips dogs go jerky for.
Wipe your feet.
The Nissan Maxima and the Acura Legend may look similar, but what you don't see is the Maxima has a powerful 3-liter engine. The Acura has less. The Maxima has a 96 cubic foot interior. The Acura has less. The Maxima is under $18,000. The Acura is more. Get the whole picture and you'll see the Nissan Maxima makes the Acura Legend a myth. Maxima has just been named the most trouble-free car in America. See it at your Nissan dealer now.
When you do it right, and you have it all, the name's gotta be wall to wall, clearly the leader.
It's Wall to Wall's 27th anniversary. Save 5 to 50% on every item in every store. VCRs, CD players, rack systems, and more. Plus thousands of records, tapes, CDs, and movies. And you may win this 1989 Ford Probe. Celebrate and save.
Wall to wall sound and video, clearly the leader. Clearly the leader.
They were ankle-deep in Bat hype over at MTV. The music video channel was giving away a Batmobile as the grand prize in their Batman movie contest. It was one example of the craziness that helped make this the battiest weekend in movie history.
Who's got the guts to steal Batman's ultimate weapon?
MTV is the latest to jump on the Batman bandwagon by giving away a Batmobile and $25,000 in their Steal the Batmobile contest. Batman co-star Robert Wuhl hosted promotional spots, which prompted viewers to call in when they spotted an MTV Bat signal. The big winner was Patrick McClin of Richmond, Virginia, who was picked from almost 1 million callers. Wuhl says he never expected such an explosion of Batmania.
I think the public got all this buzz going about the movie and what the look of the movie was. And I mean, everybody was sure we were making another pow, bang, zoom movie, and we weren't. It was quite an experience. Hell, I'd go back in a second and do another one.
Since Since driving the Batmobile is best left to superheroes, the engine has been removed. No matter, Patrick says he's most impressed that Batman beauty Kim Basinger once rode shotgun in his car.
It's great. Yeah, it's too bad she's not here, but I'll work on it. Oh, I've got $25,000. I'm going to work on it.
Holy turnout.
And it was holy turnout indeed for a special one-night showing of the original 1966 version of Batman. On hand, Bat fans, the Batmobile, and the film stars Burt Ward, the Boy Wonder, Joker Cesar Romero, and the Penguin Burgess Meredith.
I had to quack all the time, which wasn't too hard. It was great fun. You know, just get out and be a clown, hoot and howl.
As expected, the film made during the height of the series brought out fans who compared the old with the new.
Nobody else can play Batman but Adam West. And as far as the Joker's concerned, Cesar Romero is a natural. Jack Nicholson has to work on the laugh.
The original Batman stars also appear in special wraparound segments which will air on stations running the TV series over the next few weeks. The 1966 Batman movie will premiere in New York next month.
Disneyland is about to open its Wet n Wild thrill ride Splash Mountain, and the park needed a victim for the first official test ride. They called a man who's been described as being all wet. Disney got the perfect guinea pig, Ernest P Worrell, also known as Jim Varney, for a wild ride down Splash Mountain. This may be the world's longest flume chute ride, but that didn't scare our guy Ernie.
Somebody has to do the dangerous work. Somebody has to test these log rides to see if they're safe. Naturally, they chose me. This is a time for action. Call me along.
But Ernest didn't seem quite so fearless when it came time to ride. Here's what he saw on the way down. This brave test pilot's reaction?
It was great.
Varney was taping a special for the Disney Channel. He also won an Emmy Award this weekend for his Saturday morning show, which airs on CBS.
For the third year, the kids' cable channel Nickelodeon polled kids nationwide to determine their favorite shows, actors, and songs. The Cosby Show was just one of the big winners. Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards aired last night with kids across the country picking winners in 12 categories. The Cosby Show was named the best program on TV. Whoopi Goldberg won the award for Best Movie Actress. Best Male and Female Music Act honors went to Bon Jovi and Debbie Gibson. Alf was the Kids' Choice for Best TV Actor.
I'm just trying to make this fun, people.
The awards were presented by a series of young TV stars, including Jason Herpy of The Wonder Years.
They let the kids express, you know, how they really feel, who's their true champion, who's their idol, what their favorite movie is, what their favorite song is. You know, I think that's very important.
Among the highlights of the show was Corey Feldman performing his song, Something in Your Eyes.
I love playing for kids, so that was what was the most fun about it. You know, you're in a room with about 1,000 kids, and that's the best way to perform because, you know, they never notice anything's wrong.
The award show will also air on Wednesday and Friday of this week.
65 million Americans are battling weight problems. Are you one of them? I'm Merlin Olsen. There are plenty of diet plans out there, but do they work? And which one is right for you? Find out as dieters tackle 4 of today's most popular weight loss programs. Dr. Nancy Snyderman will offer the pros and cons of each and will expose some diet scams. It's a special program designed to help you face the diet dilemma.
Life Quest, Tuesday at 8 on Channel 3.
A short message from Sesame Place. Short people got good reason to smile. We're gonna splash and play, bounce around and giggle at a place where the biggest stars are little. Bring your thinking cap and a secret too, 'cause there's lots of new things like the Big Bird Review. They love us short people out here. Sesame Place, Langhorne, Pennsylvania.
Do you have a phone like this? Or this? Or this? Or this?
Whatever phone you already own, you can raise its IQ by calling Bella, Pennsylvania. Or the return call, and your phone can return calls you can't get. Want to know who's calling? With Priority Call, a special ring will tell you. And nobody even has to come to your house and bug you. Call Bella, Pennsylvania for IQ services from the intelligent network of Bell Atlantic.
Hey, where'd you get that look? Can you tell what it took? Hey, where'd you get that style? That perfect touch that makes them smile, smile, smile.
Get comforters for $19.99 all sizes, pillows $4.99 all sizes, and bath towels $3.99.
How can I feel the way you do? How can I get that look like you? Tell what it took.
Home fashions for less.
Where'd you get that look?
I found it at Marshall's.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 1-2 punch to the chin, the sports world was rocked by startling revelations about heavyweight champ Mike Tyson in a book written by his friend Jose Torres. Torres was Tyson's mentor, and what he has to say about the champ is not flattering. Controversy is swirling about the champ because of shocking revelations in the book Fire and Fear, the inside story of Mike Tyson, excerpts of which appear in the August issue of Playboy. Tyson is quoted as saying the best punch he ever threw was at his wife, Robin Givens, before they were married, an admission that totally surprised Tyson's friend Torres while taping the interview.
I thought that was awful, and I felt that that should be exposed, and Tyson told me that without me asking him. You know, I asked him what was the best punch he ever hit anyone with, and I meant in the ring.
But despite the unflattering tidbits about Tyson's personal life, Torres says the champ knows the book is no hatchet job. Most of it portrays Tyson as a decent man and a courageous fighter.
He knows that everything, every word in that book is the truth. He knows that. So I think that he is decent enough to understand that and to recognize that. So I don't fear. If I see him mad, I will take off though.
The official release date for Fire and Fear is July 5th, but the book is already in some bookstores.
From the earliest days of Hollywood, fans have been fascinated by the inner workings of the stars' lives and loves. One gossip columnist came up with a unique way to feed that hunger. As Leonard Maltin shows us, she was years ahead of her time. Leonard.
Well, John, long before Entertainment Tonight came along, people clamored for an inside look at Hollywood and its stars. One major source of information and celebrity info was the gossip column. But in 1941, Hedda Hopper decided to bring her popular and influential column to the screen in a series of movie shorts called Hedda Hopper's Hollywood. Now, all 6 of these vidded shorts are being released on video.
Hello, everybody. This is Hedda Hopper reporting to you from Hollywood, that fabulous place where everyone wants to live but seldom does.
Hedda Hopper hosted and narrated these 10-minute shorts in 1941 and 42. You might call them the 40s version of Entertainment Tonight because they cover roughly the same ground. Going on the set of a film in production, attending celebrity events, taking audiences behind the scenes of Hollywood. In one episode, Hedda looks at Hollywood nightlife, focusing on the popular Macombo Club.
Andre, Macombo's host, welcomes Betty Grable, Shirley Ross and her husband Ken Dolan, and George Raft. Desi Arnaz sits one out as wifey Lucille Ball dances with one of their party, while Western star Tom Tyler seems to have discovered an acquaintance, Ann Miller.
A fundraiser for British War Relief held at Pick Fair, the home of Mary Pickford, not only brings out America's sweetheart, but Basil Rathbone, Boris Karloff, and many more of Hollywood's famous British colony. Then, as now, a visit to a Bob Hope broadcast is always good for a laugh. This radio show was performed for U.S. servicemen near the beginning of World War II.
Do you think you'll go to the front in this war, Bob?
What?
Well, no. I guess you won't be able to on account of your physical condition.
Yeah. What's wrong with my physical condition?
Well, most of it's gone to the front already.
Not every story in these films is a grabber. Hedda fills in by filming a party hosted by her son, William Hopper, who later gained fame as a regular on TV's original Perry Mason show. But every once in a while, there's something really special, like this footage of Gary Cooper and his wife on a hunting vacation in Idaho with Ernest Hemingway and his wife. Moments like these are worth waiting for. So if you want to turn back the clock and see how some things have changed and some things haven't on the show business scene, These 10-minute films are a good place to start.
Good night. I'll be seeing you again soon, I hope, in Hedda Hopper's Hollywood.
It's a shame they only made 6 of them. They're not the greatest shorts in the world, but each one has something really interesting in it. And all 6 are on this new cassette released by Republic Pictures Home Video. Incidentally, I was intrigued that though Hedda Hopper made these shorts for Paramount in the early 40s, she wasn't able to really persuade that many big stars to be in them. I think one reason was in those days the studios were very jealous of their stars, and MGM, for instance, wouldn't have dreamt of letting somebody from that studio appear in a Paramount short.
Way ahead of her time.
And she was also very good on camera, which is surprising.
Well, she had been an actress. She had a long acting career behind her, so she was a performer as well as a columnist.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leonard.
Interesting. When we come back, the Insider has new criteria for judging fame.
The pain is in the back of the head, and then, like I say, in the temples, and it'll pound. Being a fireman is stressful, so I'd say stress could bring that on real easily.
Today, Jim Dane is trying extra-strength Tylenol gel caps. For pain like his, why take aspirin or ibuprofen when nothing works better than Tylenol gel caps?
I feel great. Yeah, I feel back to normal, ready to go. It's gone.
Extra-strength Tylenol gel caps. In the real world of everyday pain, nothing works better.
Cash is popping up at your Nissan dealer. You can get $500 cash back from Nissan on selected hard-body trucks, up to $1,000 cash back on reliable Sentras, and up to $2,000 cash back or special financing on selected Stanzas. So see your Nissan dealer now, because on July 5th, the money runs out.
Do you have a phone like this? Or this? Or this? Or this? Whatever phone you already own, you can raise its IQ by calling Diamond State Telephone. Or the return call, and your phone can return calls you can't get. Want to know who's calling? With Priority Call, a special ring will tell you. And nobody even has to come to your house and bug you. Call Diamond State Telephone for IQ services from the intelligent network of Bell Atlantic.
Lena Heflin before Nutrisystem. Lena Heflin after Nutrisystem.
I lost 70 pounds. I feel like $1,000,000. When I look in the mirror, it's like looking at somebody else. And it's great. I can get up in the morning and I can put on anything I want to wear, whether it's shorts or a swimsuit. If I'd known a long time ago that I was going to feel this good, I'd have done it long ago.
Don't wait. Call now. Nutrisystem. We succeed where diets fail you.
Just how orange does Minute Maid orange taste? Minute Maid orange. It's the orange in diet too.
Air transportation furnished and a promotional fee paid by Delta Airlines. Every day, Delta offers you more than 4,000 flights to more than 250 cities system-wide. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Celebrating a birthday today, actress Pamela Bellwood turns 38. Singer Billy Davis Jr., 49. And actress Eleanor Parker is 67.
The ET Insider has been aware for some time that laboring scriptwriters hunched over their computers for hours on end, trying for the perfect movie, are apt to develop a malady called computer neck. Now the Insider learns that kids have neck problems as well. The American Chiropractic Association says the younger generation gets the aches from too much time at the video games. The chiropractors have dubbed the ailment Nintendo neck. The ET Insider came across a very telling comment on our Times in the Washington Post. The newspaper, conducting a judicial poll, found that only 9% of Americans can identify William Rehnquist as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. On the other hand, the Post found that 54% of us know that Joseph Wapner presides on TV's The People's Court. The Insider is here to remind you that if they picked the Supreme Court by the Nielsen ratings, the major issues affecting our land would be decided, in part, by Judge Wapner.
Hollywood is not a community of wallflowers. When stars appear in public, they want to be seen. The competition is keen, so it's a bit unusual when the center of attention stands head and shoulders above the rest. Basketball great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the standout at the LA Sports Club when actor Chevy Chase gave him the Superstar of Sports Award.
He made the game of basketball for me, and I think I admire him as a person, too.
In Chicago, Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, and Luther Vandross were out to honor Whitney's mother, singer Cissy Houston. The event benefited the charity habilitative systems.
I came here because they were honoring my mother, but it is for the cause for children and for the homeless and for the addicts and everybody that needs help.
In New York, celebrities commemorated the 25th anniversary of the murders of civil rights workers Michael Schwerner, James Chaney, and Andrew Goodman.
It's good to have martyrs to keep reminding us about mankind and womankind. We have a long way to go.
And Sotheby's raised more than $350,000 with an auction of rock and roll memorabilia. Next on the block, original drawings from the film Roger Rabbit. But the man who gave Roger a voice has his eyes on this print of Roger.
Please. It's a beautiful scene.
Have you seen Batman yet?
The Big Talk. Yeah, I went to see it yesterday. Put in my $7 worth. You know what? It's a movie that everybody will enjoy seeing, I think, except that I think it's excessively violent. Last 30 minutes, I wanted to get out and get some fresh air. How did you think?
I'm going to go see it 3 or 4 times. And make you pay for it. It was the view of the late Andy Warhol that television was not something to watch. Television was something to be on, and now everybody can be on TV thanks to cable's public access. We're going to have that story for you tomorrow.
As Monday fades into the sunset, it's back to the Cissy Houston benefit for going away music. Here's daughter Whitney with one of her big early hits, The Greatest Love of All.
Take care, everybody.
Coming up next, the frightening story of a real-life fatal attraction. We'll also meet 2 gay men fighting to keep their daughter, and we'll meet Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne. It's all tonight on Evening Magazine.
What's new with GMC Truck? Now you can get 2.9 financing on S15 pickups and S15 Jimmys, or get up to $750 cash back on S15 pickups, or $750 cash back on S15 Jimmys. And on the full-size Sierra, get $500 cash back or an automatic transmission at no extra charge. It's good news from GMC Truck. See your GMC Truck and Team dealer today.
Dennis Quaid is Jerry Lee Lewis. Great Balls of Fire. Rated PG-13. Starts June 30th.
Death penalties for juvenile murderers. The story on Nightcast at 11.